Hello, my name is Dania Shoaf, and the title of my chapel talk is The New Schizophrenia. When you think of fears, I assume you picture a snake squirming towards you, or maybe approaching the very top of a roller coaster right before it decides to drop, or maybe even nothing. A room filled with darkness where you are left alone, not knowing where to go. Though these fears are common, the number one fear people have in this world is what I, Dania Shoaf, am doing at this moment, public speaking. The fear of public speaking, also known as glossophobia, is taking over society today as it surpasses arachnophobia, the common fear of spiders. An online website entitled Healthline reveals that phobias are, quote, a root to all anxiety, end quote, which is a pandemic we are facing today. Anxieties affect nearly 40 million adults in the United States, ages 18 and older, or 18.1% of the population. Knowing this information, we can assume that with the continuous growth rates of anxiety and phobias, we as a global community cannot take such matters lightly. With this, I argue that phobias such as glossophobia should be thought of as being more serious and harmful than presented due to the way they impact someone physically and mentally. Today, nearly 75% of people face glossophobia on a daily basis. Signs of people struggling with glossophobia include stuttering while speaking, intense anxiety prior to speech, lack of participation in groups, nausea, high blood pressure, sweating, and more. Many overlook the symptoms, but in reality, high blood pressure can cause blood clots in the arteries that can lead to a stroke. Anxieties and fears support why strokes are becoming more common for younger people. Researchers from Science Daily discovered that approximately 530,000 to 830,000 people between the ages of 18 and 44 had a stroke just this past year. These statistics presented to us showed how common strokes are to people in a variety of ages. A neurologist from Loyola University, Jose Biller, discovered that hospitals nationwide have diagnosed adolescents with a stroke between 25 to 50% more within the last decade. According to the physician, Barbara Fish, glossophobia is known to happen at any place, at any time, to any person. She even states that many times this fear can allow the student to miss out opportunities to further their career. To this day, physicians do not know how to completely cure glossophobia, which can be detrimental to the mental health of the future. With new technologies and innovations throughout the centuries, oral medications have been added, such as Ativan and propranolol. They are prescribed to relieve some symptoms of the phobia, but not necessarily cure it. Shortly after World War II ended, doctors began to understand how serious mental illnesses were and how concerning it can be to the community, especially after a traumatic event. In the 1950s, psychotherapeutic medications were first introduced to relieve stress from the soldiers and others participating in battle. With this, relying on medication to ease the overwhelming pain proves to us that mental struggles like phobias and anxieties take over a person uncontrollably. In conclusion, I believe that we all need to take phobias such as glossophobia more seriously because they can mentally torment a person to a point that can be dangerous to the human body. We cannot continue to allow this phobia to take over our society any more than it already has. Phobias such as glossophobia should not be seen as a negative attribute, but as a unique way of facing obstacles in life. So I'm going to leave you with a quote by the admirable Marie Curie. Quote, "Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood," end quote. And that, my friends, is me facing my fear of public speaking.